Draw some latte art on top. Okay, I can do that. Just gotta pour the milk. That's... drag it around and... this should be fine. And there goes my career. Thank you to Toge Productions for providing me with the early build. Coffee Talk is an upcoming game that is set to release on January 2020. The game takes place in an alternative version of modern-day Seattle. Fantasy races that range from orcs to elves live alongside humans, with everyone walking different paths in life. You play as a barista who owns a small coffee shop that opens every night, tending to your regulars as well as accommodating new customers. Each night, you'll be listening to your customers' stories while they enjoy their favorite drinks. The first person that you meet is Freya, a cheerful writer who appears to be the most frequent visitor of the coffee shop. Listening to her frustration with slacking off and having writer's block felt kinda relatable. I'm sure everyone's had that moment where you're set on getting some work done, but you end up just looking at memes or staring at a blank document page for an hour. There was also an elf and succubus who comes into the shop, talking about their struggle to gain their parents' approval over their relationship. Yeah, it sounds very Romeo and Juliet, but it was interesting to see a bit of world building through customer conversations. From a vegan vampire maintaining his diet by drinking synthetic blood, to a werewolf experimenting on different possibilities that'll keep himself calm. It's all so strange, but at the same time, I want to see more. It didn't take long for me to sink into the game's wonderful ambience. The subtle sound of raindrops and passing cars blended nicely with the lo-fi music and the coffee brewing. Everything was so relaxing that I couldn't help but grab a nice hot drink before I continued playing. The game plays out like a visual novel until you reach the sections where you have to brew drinks. Making a beverage is simple, as it only requires you to select 3 ingredients from the shelf before hitting the brew button. If you don't know what a certain drink is made of, you can check out the brew pad on your phone. It'll only show ingredients for basic drinks though. Sometimes you need to make latte art, and some customers will ask you to make drinks that you don't have a recipe for, so you'll have to experiment on what to place. It's also important to pay attention to what customers prefer too, so you don't accidentally do something like serve a lactose intolerant person a cup of coffee with milk. I read that the game is going to have branching storylines, which will be determined by how you serve your cafe customers. I'm curious how the game's going to deal with that on release. Apart from the brew pad, there's different apps on your phone, like a music player to switch between tracks, and the Evening Whisper, where you can read daily short stories. There's also a social media-like app called Tomodachi. Each user has 3 levels on their profile, so I'm assuming that the closer you get to certain characters, the more info you'll unlock. Overall, I enjoyed playing through the early build, and I think the game looks promising. The world and the characters are interesting, and I want to see how the gameplay features will be fleshed out once the full game is released. I might do a video on it too, so look forward to that. Let me know what you all thought about the video, and I'll see you in the next one.